Okay.
Wonderful. As I said, I am Josh Walker. I'm from Yates Construction, and I hope to just kind of tell you the story of how we implemented dProfiler. We started using dProfiler in June of last year. So I hope to be informative and try to answer all your questions at the end. So, just the agenda for the day, we're going to go over how we got started using dProfiler, our early training, and then how we made a decision that we needed to devote resources, and then how we use dProfiler in our current operations. So for me, my introduction to dProfiler came from an AGC BIM education class that we were hosting. An internal training class, and as a company, we have an internal goal for this year of everybody having 30 hours of training on what's going on in the industry. Well, these were 4 8-hour classes, so I was able to sign up and knock all those out at one time. And during the first class, our chief BIM guy for the company, Benjamin Crosby, was talking, and the class covered macro and micro BIM. And the project they said for macro BIM was dProfiler. That was very interesting to me, because my limited knowledge of BIM at the time, there wasn't anything that estimators could use to do costs, anything like that. After we went, another estimator and I came back, and we went and we downloaded the program from our IT. We found out that we had a couple licenses, and it is an internal policy within Yates that before you go out and receive training from the company who owns the product or from a third party, that you watch some YouTube videos and you try to do 10 to 15 hours of training so that the company's money isn't spent teaching you the basics of how to click and rotate. So we completed those and were really interested in the product, and then we reached out to Beck, and they were able to come give a presentation to our upper management. That presentation was before my time with dProfiler. I found out about it later though when we decided to devote resources to it. So our early training classes, we had Doug come into Jackson, and he taught a 2-day class on the basics of dProfiler. It was a very interesting, very informative class, but just to say that we were interested and it came to us would not be a true statement. After our initial presentation with dProfiler, we used it, we did some YouTube videos on it, and we thought that it could be a very powerful tool, but we weren't sure that the industry was going to use it. We thought it could possibly be a fad. We didn't know if our competitors were going to use it. We thought it was a cool tool, but we didn't know if it was for us. And then, when we made that decision after we got beat, we went to present on I believe it was a casino in the area, and one of our competitors had dProfiler. And our management came back, and after that we had presented our costs for the schematic design in an Excel spreadsheet. And the owner just said, we like 3D model allowed us to drill down costs, and we liked it a lot better. And it's kind of funny how we went from not being sure to moving forward at 110%. Doug, and when we call for training, those kind of things, always said that we kind of act like we had our tail on fire. We were always moving with a purpose. So we brought in 7 estimators for our initial training class. We had them trained, we went back home. We had a couple additional training classes where Doug, I believe, came back to Jackson and trained some of our other chief and senior estimators from different parts of the company. Just to go forward and move with that. The advanced training we'll touch on it later. So after a few of our training classes, we thought it'd be a good idea. We got a new product, we really like it. Everybody left feeling invigorated. We had worked and developed a very basic cost database on an Excel spreadsheet and imported it. We're starting to work that way. We had a bunch of historical data on gaming projects. That's one of our big areas. We really like those. So we thought we'd be able to work through the kinks of the program and as part of everybody's normal job function, and then start to use it dedicated for all of our new projects. The problem with that idea was that everybody still had full-time jobs. So that after that we got beat, and this is a big priority and motivation. When people go back to their offices, they still have other obligations that's on their performance reviews, and that's what's driving them, and that's in their day-to-day responsibility. So unfortunately, after a period of time, we had a bunch of people who were very proficient in modeling, but we didn't have anybody they could do the cost side of the database. We were lacking there, and we were kind of wondering, why are we using this program? We had 6 or 7 licenses. We sat back and looked at it again. We didn't feel like we were getting our money's worth, and we wanted to fix that. So that is when I was assigned to be profiler full time. That was in September of last year. I was assigned to figure out how to build costs, how to build the sequencing models, how we were going to use it to provide benefits to our clients. That is when I found out about the meeting that I mentioned earlier where Beck came and presented. Because as we went through, this was a fast process, and we didn't sit down and have clear goals. We just kind of went along as we built models. They talked about things in this meeting, and I'd call Doug, and we set up training, and he'd teach me how to do it, and we'd come back, and everybody was happy. So, dProfiler for us is a pre-construction service. A lot of the projects that we have used dProfiler on with success come into our office. It's normally 4 to 6 PDFs. People will send us a casino or an office building or a manufacturing plant, and they'll go, here's the floor plan, here's how big we want the parking garage to be, here's the first floor of our casino, here's the second floor, here's a typical hotel floor. And we'll go through and we'll build it through that, and we'll go and we'll present it to them. And as we go through that process, we have found that the biggest benefit to our clients has been the ability to look at a room and have it visually show up within their floor plan and then drill down those costs. That allows us to, it's just not a square foot price in an Excel spreadsheet. We can show them what we have in there for drywall, what we have in for flooring. And then we have our senior people come with us, and they have the ability to talk that, if we make a change from $15 a square foot for flooring to $30, this is what it gives you. If we go from 30 to 45, this is what it gives you. And it allows the owners to have a mental picture of what their building is going to look like, see the cost implications. I know a lot of casinos, they like to change things, and finishes are a big deal, and it allows us to show for their budget where we can spend the money in the front areas, their gaming floors, the restaurants, they get the finish that they like. But we can also help the project stay within the budget. One of the biggest things for us is starting with the end in mind on any project. For if we want to build floors as separate massing so that we can turn them on and off to show what it would be like if you took 10 floors for a casino a hotel tower, or if we wanted to add a floor or be able to sequence them properly to how we wanted to run costs. Just that, to take the extra time in a meeting when we're starting a project, take that 10 to 15 minutes, and have the pre-construction director and us sit down and make sure that our mental picture of what success in his does, the Big Beck thing, is an extremely, extremely good piece of advice. As was mentioned earlier, internal training. After I completed all of the advanced training with Beck, I began to train people internally. I came to Dallas for the training on the cost database, along with the sequencing, and Doug and I did the training for the Site 3D over WebEx. For us, we've had people come to Biloxi. We had a group from our Jackson and Memphis office in Oxford come after our presentation to the management committee. All the division people were very interested in it. We had one 2-day class where we went over the more advanced features of the program, how to implement them successfully, how to have a database and a naming convention so that it works once you put in the effort. And then after that, I've gone to several of our other offices individually, for example in Dallas and Memphis, and trained them and gone to them and we've worked through a project. And if I could give you a piece of advice, I would say that if you're going to take this route and you're going to have an expert and have him train people, to take the time. It is a little bit more costly, but have him go to your other offices and work through a project. Not only have I been able to teach people and show them how I've been trained on it, how I see it, how I do it, but I've learned a great deal more from the 2 trips from when I went to another office and spent 2 days with them than I did in the original training class. Training classes are great. They give it to a large number of people in a short period of time, but it doesn't allow the instructor to learn anything back. Going through a project individually, it allows you to encounter problems and see how other people think and how they get to the end. And it's made me a lot better, and it's hopefully given our clients a lot more value as well. And also in training, repetition is the key to success. It's just like when Beck does their training, you go through things a lot, and it can at the time wonder, why are we doing this much? But it helps people to be able to sink that, have that knowledge sink in and become confident with it, so when they go back to their office, they remember it, and if they ask questions, it's normally just a very brief refresher question.